Salute discipuli. Our next lesson, lesson 30 in Latin for Americans, is on the pluperfect and future perfect active indicative. Now, you have already learned the endings for the perfect active indicative. In fact, you've known them for a long time. These are the last two tenses that you have to learn in the active and in the passive for that matter, but that's a few lessons ahead. So now you're just going to learn how to form these for how to form the pluperfect and the future perfect for all conjugations. Now, let's do a little review of the perfect system. The perfect system refers to any of the three tenses, perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect, that form by using the perfect stem, right? The perfect stem, at least the perfect active stem, is formed or is obtained by removing the long I from the third principal part. So when we form these two new tenses, the pluperfect and the future perfect, we're going to need that perfect active stem from the third principal part, okay? Now, these two new tenses, you have to learn how they translate, especially how they translate in relation to the perfect. Just as a little review, remember that the perfect tense tells you simple past action or past action that only really happened once, something like that, right? So the perfect tense translates as I loved, I have loved, or I did love, something like that, right? The pluperfect tells you about an action that happened farther in the past than the perfect. So that translates I had loved, okay? And the future perfect tells you about an action that will be completed in the future, okay? So we translate it, I will have loved. Now the future perfect is something we don't really use too much in English. We do use it from time to time, but it's not very common. But think of it this way. By the end of this video, you will have learned the endings for the pluperfect and the future perfect, right? A completed action in the future. Okay. In order to form all three of these tenses, you need to get the perfect active stem, which you get from removing the I ending from the third principal part. And then once you have that perfect active stem, you are going to add on to it the endings. So just like you add the perfect active endings, e, isti, it, emis, istis, erunt, you are now going to learn the pluperfect and the future perfect active endings that you're going to put on that perfect active stem. And the really nice thing is, just like for the perfect tense, the pluperfect and the future perfect form the same way for all conjugations. This isn't like the present system where you have to learn one rule for the first and second, a different rule for the third, and a slightly different rule for the third, io, and fourth. Perfect system tenses, so perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect, form the same way regardless of conjugation. Yay! I love it when that happens. Okay, so here you go, ladies. Here are the endings for the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect active indicative. First thing you need to get is that perfect active stem. To the perfect, just a review, you add e, isti, it, emis, istis, erunt. For the pluperfect, you're going to add aram, aras, arat, aramis, aratus, arant. And for the perfect, for the future perfect active indicative, you add aro, aris, arit, arimis, aritus, erent. Okay, that's important. I know that you guys are used to the future of the verb to be being aro, aris, arit, arimis, aritus, erunt. But when it's the ending for the pluperfect active indicative, that third person plural future perfect active is erent. Okay? So, now that you know how to form, let's look at a couple paradigm verbs or example verbs. Our first one is a second conjugation. You can't see the macron, it's been cut off, but there is a macron over this second principal part. Manio, manere, mansi, mansorum. So if we take our third principal part and remove the long I, then we get our perfect active stem, which is going to be mans, right? And then onto that, you are going to add the endings. So, mansi, mansisti, mansit, mansimus, mansistis, manserant. Okay, and then I just translated these as simple past, but you could have also translated mansi as I have remained. You could have translated mansistis as you have remained or you did remain, so on and so forth. Pluperfect, as I said before, you need your perfect stem, mons, and then you're going to add those endings to them, and this is action that happened farther in the past than the perfect. So Montserrat, 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 Montserramus, Montserratus, Montserrat. And this is I had remained, you had remained, she had remained, we had remained, you or y'all had remained, they had remained, okay? Future perfect active, again, perfect stem, perfect active stem, plus those endings. So Montserrat, 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 Montserramus, Montserratus, Montserrat. So I will have remained, you will have remained, she will have remained, so on and so forth. I do want you guys to write down this paradigm verb and the two others that I have coming up. I know you've gotten a little bit out of the habit of writing down all the paradigm verbs to your detriment. So I want you writing these out in your notes, and I will check it when I see you next. Okay, our next paradigm verb, capio, capere, capi, captum. So again, to get our perfect active stem, we take our third principal part, remove the I, so our perfect active stem is keep. Let's see if I can get this resituated. There we go. So cape, review the perfect active. Capi, capisti, capit, capimus, capistis, caperun. Okay, I took, or I have taken. As opposed to caperam, caperas, caperat, caperamus, caperatus, caperan, which is I had taken, you had taken, she had taken, right? We had taken, you, in the plural, had taken, or they had taken. And then again, for our future perfect active, we need our perfect active stem, and then the endings, capero, caperis, caperet, caperimus, caperitus, caperent. So I will have taken, right? Caperimus, we will have taken. Okay, our last paradigm verb is going to be a fourth conjugation, invenio, invenire, inveni, inventum. So again, what is our perfect active stem going to be? It is going to be in wane, right? Look at that, it pops up just like magic. Okay, so in wane is going to be our perfect active stem. And then again, to the ending, to the stem, we add the endings. Inweni, inwenisti, inwenit, inwenimus, inwenistis, inwenerunt, okay? Inweneram, inweneras, inwenerat, inweneramus, inweneratus, inwenerant. Pluperfect, right? I had found, as opposed to inweni, I found. Or I have found. She has found, so on and so forth. And then our future perfect, inwenero, inweneris, inweneret, inwenerimus, inweneritus, inwenerit. And that is going to be our future perfect, I will have found, right? You will have found, so on and so forth. Okay, that is the pluperfect and future perfect active. Not too difficult, and as a matter of fact, we're going to do the passive soon enough, and they're not that bad either. Again, they're going to work the exact same way for all conjugations, which is, you know, in Latin, awesome. So I will check over your notes the next time I see you, and in the meantime, I hope you have a lovely evening. Walete.